Tigercast fans, welcome to another video. We're going to do something a bit different today. Adem Yze's press conference ahead of the St Kilda clash has just dropped. I haven't watched it yet, so I thought we'd flick over, watch it, do a bit of a live reaction, talk about any important topics that are raised, and yeah, we'll see what comes of it. So let's jump across now and check out the press conference from Adem Yze. Alrighty, headphones are in, or headphone, I've only got one in. We'll see how we go.
Adam, the Tom Lynch news has just come out. Good news for the club, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. It's obviously a nice week for him to have him back, to have his magnet available this weekend. In front of our Tiger Army. We're wrapped that he's obviously playing this weekend, but at the same time we're wrapped that he's committed for at least another season. So he's so important to our footy club, and not only our footy club, he's so important to our young forward line. So super stoked for that news to come out today.
What does it do having an experienced premiership player like that around when you're trying to develop these younger guys?
It's critical. You can see other teams around the comp that are searching for that and bringing players in from other teams. We've got that at our doorstep and within our four walls. So Dion, the same sort of thing, is in discussion right now. We've got Lynch committed. So they're like Brody. So our more experienced players right now, Nick Vlosten, their ability to fast track our younger players is going to be so important for us, not only as a footy club, but as...
So I'm laughing. Does anyone else get the sense that the players are taking some pot shots at Yze here, or at a minimum the camera? You can see him looking over into the distance with a bit of panic on his face. But that's to one side. I'm a big fan of the Lynch signing, and I really get where Yze is coming from with this one. Same as what sounds like the potential for Prestia will be, and the same deal for Brody, how he re-signed as well. I think what's important with signings like those is it shows, like, reality is those players could have quite easily upped and left and gone and had a nice 1 or 2 year contracts with a side competing in finals, a chance for another flag. They could have quite easily done that. Tom Lynch would have walked into a lot of, like, a Gold Coast, for example, if they wanted another big key forward, could have quite easily done that. But the fact that they've chosen to stuck around and to extend for another year, to take a hefty pay cut, and to play a role in developing these young kids coming through, it's just really great to have that type of leadership around the club. And I think it's going to be worth a lot to us in the future. The fact that they've bought in to what Yze's trying to do, what the club's trying to do, like, they don't hang around if they're not buying into what the grand plan is. So they're obviously pretty excited and looking forward to what's ahead, and they want to be a part of that and help shape that in some way, shape or form. So I reckon that's a massive tick for the club and Yze.
Awesome for our footy club, and like I said, great for our young forward line.
How far off is the Dion chat with signing a new deal?
Oh, you go, the Dion chat?
Hopefully that will get resolved in the next week or so. But
yeah, sounds like it's just about done, I reckon.
He's a required player. I think we've put something to him. He'll have a think about it, which is great. So yeah, what he's doing, not only on the field but off the field.
Agreed.
And as I've said with Nick Vlosten and Lynchy, the things that they're doing during the week is just as important what they're doing game day. So
mentors on the field, worth a shitload to us.
You've got 3 senior guys back this week, Taranto and Broad as well. Pretty important to get them all in.
Yeah, no doubt, and we did miss them last week, and obviously Tim, we took a really cautious approach, and Brody was cooked. We had some illness go through the building the last couple of weeks, but to have that experience is a great thing. Unfortunately, obviously some of our younger players are missing out. To get the opportunity this week to rest Luke Trainer, he's been a long season for him, so he'll have a week off. Simsy obviously just unlucky to miss out, and obviously Jonty's gone down with injury. So
yeah, it's interesting. I suppose, again, I don't at all want to make excuses for what happened last week, but there was a lot of chatter about the flu going through the club, and it kind of feels like it makes sense as to why we did look a little bit lackluster in the second half. And again, if you take the field, you're declaring yourself fit to play, so I'm not at all taking away from that. But I'm liking the ins for this week. In the out, I'm actually really glad to hear Yze say that Trainer's got the week off. I know he's been listed as an emergency. I don't think anything will eventuate there, but I am actually really glad that he's not playing VFL, because he just needs that full week off just to fully recover. And Sims going back to the VFL, like we said, he's not done much wrong, but if anything, it's actually to help the VFL team out to try and get them just that one more win to really secure finals or wildcard spot. So that move seemed to make sense too.
Whenever you can get 3 leaders back on the park, is great when you've got a young list rebuilding. So we can't wait to see what they can do out there tomorrow.
What can you get out of this last 3 weeks?
Oh well, we've got to make amends for last week's performance. For one, we're looking week to week. We're not looking at a block of games. We weren't happy with the way that we performed last week. There were still some things that were okay, but we felt like we took
someone ask about the goal kicking.
We get a
please.
chance to make amends this weekend, and all we're looking at is the way that we play against Kilda and making sure that we provide a contest that our Tiger Army are proud of. So, our players had a great week. They've got some energy and spirit, and looking to bring that tomorrow.
I didn't catch any exhaustion. Now, there's his program just light today, or is he going to play tomorrow?
No, he's playing. So he was just off legs today. We had a big session the other day, so he's
good to hear. We need Boston out there. Jesus, he's one of our best players.
They don't do the captain's run, so it's only a light session today. He got his legs sticking over inside, and he's no worries.
What do you make of the Saints as an opposition?
Yeah, well, the last 2 or 3 weeks have been really competitive. You can see what they did in the last quarter against Melbourne. So we understand their strengths, understand where our opportunities lie. And like I said, we're both teams aren't playing for finals, but there's a lot to play for. So they'll be talking about exactly the same thing, finishing off the season in the right way, and hopefully we can just do it better tomorrow.
And that's what I mean. That's what we mean when we talk about that both teams go into this game believing it's a winnable game. And we often talk about, obviously, when you're rebuilding, it's handy to have high picks, sure, but nothing can beat a winning mentality, a winning culture, winning habits. And I think that really overrides anything else. So for St Kilda, if they win tomorrow, they can go up to 11th on the ladder. So that's quite a substantial jump from where they are. Just on points alone, the percentage may keep them above a few teams below them as well, because the teams they'll jump could quite probably lose all their games this week. So it's huge for them. And obviously for us, we want to keep trying. We want to get that 6th win on the board and keep proving people wrong and keep doing all the right things. So winning mentality definitely overrides everything else. I'm glad to hear that we're clearly playing to win.
What have you told the guys during the week to try and avoid a result like that again? Do you want more out of your leaders to try and calm? Goal kicking.
That's what we want.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. But when we looked at it, we provided opportunities. I'd be more worried that if we struggled and only got 25 inside 50s. But we were getting an opportunity. We went in with a really young forward line. We tried some things with giving some exposure to some younger players in our forwards through the midfield. Having some experience back this week. We hope that just fixes itself. But at the same time, like I said, we weren't happy with the performance, and we need to make amends tomorrow.
And just back on, Tom, you mentioned, I think it was a month or two ago, you mentioned that you see him here for the next few years, potentially. Does that involve coaching?
Years, plural.
What his future looks like beyond playing?
Interesting.
Oh, no, not really. But when you look at, like, Scott Pendlebury, I reckon he's signed 5 one-year deals in a row. So we don't want to put a ceiling on how long that's going to last. So right now he's signed a 1-year deal, and Dion, we're looking at a 1-year deal as well, and hopefully that gets sorted in the next few. But it's not just the 1-year process. So it'll be all based around body and impacting games. And like I said, when I say that it could be 2 or 3 years, if it's all going well, then we'll look at the same sort of discussion will happen next year. So
that's interesting. That's probably the first time I've heard from Clubland anyway, an acknowledgement of sort that it's years that we're looking at, hopefully keeping both Prestia and Lynch around for not just a year. I guess my view is always that next year might be both their last years and a bit of a transitional period. But with Lynch in particular, because key forwards do take a bit longer to come on, I actually do think there would be reasonable grounds to try and get him through another year after that. This is all depending on how their bodies hold up too. I mean, it's no secret. We all know they're both somewhat fragile players. But having said that, Serpil's actually, for all of the younger players getting injured, he's kept these guys on the park reasonably well. So if they keep getting through, I think Lynch could actually be of value again the following year, just for that one more round of development and growth from Jonty Fall and Armstrong and Sims. And there obviously would come times where they might rest Lynch over the next couple of years if he plays 2 more. I mean, obviously definitely playing 1. But there's plenty of ways to make it work where you get a bit of blend of exposure to the youth and then teaching and leadership from Lynch to help them through it as well. So that's interesting. It's interesting to hear that come from Yze, that it's actually, they're sort of already talking and thinking about more than just the 1 year. I don't mind it.
for a player, you don't want to look at the end. You don't want to see the finish line. You want to be able to perform, and hopefully they can last as long as penalties.
How did you address the incident with Lynch that he got suspended for? And is there any sort of instruction about making sure he doesn't cross the line or anything like that?
Oh, we did, and obviously it's been 5 weeks since we did that.
Geez, we're going back over this.
Post game, we love the fact that he's got white line fever and he plays on the edge, and and our younger forwards need to know what it is to compete on an AFL field. But it spilled over, and the action was wrong. Our younger players needed to know that. So within our 4 walls, he knew that he did the wrong thing, and let alone he copped his right back through suspension. But we needed our younger boys to understand that was wrong. So he knew that, he wore that, and he owned it. So right now he's going to try and repay the faith and hopefully make amends in the last 3 games.
I think it's fair to say that if you look at Sims, Fall, and Armstrong, they definitely do possess that same angry trait. If angry trait, is that the right word? No, but we'll call it white line fever. All 3 of them are ultra competitive animals, and they're very physical players too. I know it's something we spoke about on a few weekly shows much earlier in the year, when early in the season, like a scuffle might break out and you see Jonty Fall and Sam Lawler in there shoving people and dragging people away. That's the kind of stuff that Lynch does, and it's actually really nice to see the young boys feeling confident enough in themselves to go and fly the flag for their teammates and show some physical presence. That's what you want your big forwards to do. You want people to know that they're there and that they're going to be around and in your face and not let you walk all over them. So I'm all for it. And I do not condone what Lynch did. He obviously overstepped the mark. But yeah, playing close to the line, I think, is actually important for these big key forwards.
That play a factor in him wanting to play on, so his career didn't end. I'm not saying that he should be near the end, but if you know what I'm saying here, like, did that play a factor at all?
No, the discussion on him going on was had started mid-season. So he knew that he was a required player. We understand how important he is to us, and like I said, having his magnet available today for a coach is you just feel safer knowing that our younger boys have got a
bit of protection,
a quality forward, a leader of our footy club that they can stand beside. So those discussions were happening earlier. The 5-week suspension wasn't an issue.
Just on the Saints again, Isaiah Wanganeen's the hottest player in the league at the moment. What do you do about him?
I'm not sure we're going to do anything.
Yeah, he did. He got me up at 2 o'clock this morning thinking about it. But the same sort of thing. Like we're in a process right now. We want to play a certain way, and we'll go in backing ourselves and backing our system and keep an eye on how much impact he's having. He's in such good form that you might pull a lever a little bit earlier. But yeah, we understand.
Who are we going to use?
And where our opportunities lie individually as well.
I really don't think we have a player that can go with him. I admire the optimism that we might pull a lever and send someone to him. I just can't see anyone on our list that can go with him, and that's not a slight at our list. That's more credit to how good Wanganeen Malira is. He's playing unbelievably well at the moment and can play all over the ground. But I'll be definitely watching what we do there with interest, because it could play a pivotal role.
I'll obviously have to keep an eye on him, and similar to Harley Reid when we played West Coast, he was just dominating at halftime and we had to pull that lever. We'll look at doing the same sorts of things, but yeah, he's in great form.
Interesting.
And a terrific player.
So you won't sort of go a hard tag right from the start?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that today. But like I said, my gut feel is that we'll back ourselves and back our system. And even looking last night, the Hawks that backed themselves against Nick Dacos, and the system overrode the individual. So
it's very cool.
Constantly thinking of that, and 2 o'clock tomorrow morning I might wake up and something different might pop in my head. But right now I'd back our system in.
Thanks.
There you go. That is the Adem Yze press conference from earlier today. In regards to the St Kilda game, a little bit to digest there, but that was interesting. Some of those comments, in particular about Prestia and Lynch being sort of viewed as longer term prospects than just the immediate next season. I think it makes sense. I know there's a large segment of supporters out there who aren't such big fans of it, but I just think from a developmental and a coaching and teaching perspective, it's a wise move rather than throwing the kids to the wolves. I don't think that serves a really good purpose, to be honest. But big game coming up tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what we try and do to combat Nasai Wanganeen Malira. I don't know, like I said before, I don't know whether we can do anything. Maybe it's just trying to limit the damage of his disposals. But to Yze's point, when you look at the Hawthorn-Collingwood game, that system overrode the individual player. That's probably your best bet, to be honest. And having those experienced players back hopefully does straighten up the system a little bit. As we've said on a few videos already, we just need to make sure that we're lowering our eyes when going inside 50, and we have to kick straight and convert our chances. If we do those things, we give ourselves a chance. And yeah, obviously, it's then up to the players to execute and defend well, so which we tend to do okay at. But let me know what you thought about Yze's presser. Any interesting comments in there that I might have missed that you thought are worthy of mentioning? Let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy the game today, folks, and hopefully we can walk away with a win. Go Tigers!